Hey, you there! Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. But before I do that, I will note, you probably saw it on the timestamp for the video, this is going to be more than an hour-long cast. So get your popcorn, get your drinks, get your beef jerky, get whatever you want to sit down with, get your ice cream sandwiches and your chicken sandwiches, and sit back, relax, and enjoy this 1 hour plus replay. Starting off with Team 1 in the north, and we'll end again Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's Western player moving eastward, we have in Stitch Blue, it is Big Bang. So either he will cause a Big Bang, or he'll go out in a Big Bang, but a Big Bang hopefully will be surrounded somewhat near Big Bang. He is a Seraphim. He is an 1800. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. To his east, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Ogli, I think that's how you say that. He is a UEF. He is an 1100. To his east, in Chevy Crimson, blending in with his environment quite nicely, it is Weeb. He's playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1500. And in the northeast corner of the map here for Team 1, we have Polar with two R's and an E. I think it's Polar, I think is how you say it. Maybe, I don't know. He is a Cyber, and he is a 1600. To his south, we have in Snow White, it is Rick. He's playing as UEF. He is a 1300. And rounding out Team 1's lineup on the western side of the map, or western-ish towards that direction, it is Ayahuasca Des. He is a Seraphim. He is a 1400 in Batman Gray. So for Team 1's side of the map, they have 3 Seraphim, 2 Aeon, 1 Cybern. No Aeon Tech for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's Western player. I don't know my directions today. And going east as well, we have in Lightish Red Pink in the water so far, it is Rekather. He's playing as a 1500 as a Seraphim. To his east in Regal Purple, it is the one and only Aeon, I believe, of the game. It is Unmaker. He's in Regal Purple as a 1000 rated. To his east, we have in Pac-Man Yellow making his way to the north. It is Twitchy Mofo. He's playing as a UEF as a 1500. And rounding out Team 2's southeastern corner of the map, it is Spectre Slave 137 playing as a Cybern in orange, the color orange, as a 1600. To his north in Imperial Gray, it is the Seraphim of Sandman 27. He is a 1200. And rounding out Team 2's front line and their lineup, it is Faffing Off. He is a Cybern. He's in Amethyst Purple as a 1700. He is also the highest rated player on Team 2. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Cyberns, 2 Seraphim, 1 UEF, and 1 Aeon. All of the factions represented on Team 2 side of the map. Team 1 only lacking Aeon, but they make up for it for more Seraphim and more UEF. So for these 12 total players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation, currently sitting at 33,000 mass in reclaim, and we'll bump that up just a little bit more to 36,000 just to make that math in my brain a lot easier. It is a little bit under 3,000 mass per player. Obviously worth writing home about. There are specific clumps that players are going to be fighting for, especially on this western side. We see 1,000, 1,000, 1,100, 1,400, 1,500, essentially. That's one player's worth of reclaim right there, pretty much. So that it is worth fighting over, as well as a couple of 900s or so on these upper plateaus. And there is a splattering of reclaim closer to players' main bases. Looks like there's 1,000, and then, of course, 1,000 down there. So players hurriedly skittering across the map, scooping up their reclaim with their comms and with their engineers. But, of course, the mechs locations are also of great importance. There is a large splattering of them on this western side we see. No real clumpage in terms of, tri-quad mechs positions. But, there are a decent amount of mechs to grab, as we see both Team 1's Big Bang and Team 2's Rekather have moved their comms to this more central landmass and is getting facilities online. Moving towards the more middle to eastern half, we do see a couple of tri and quad mechs positions, one on the eastern edge for Rick, and one grabbed already by Ayahuasca. There is, I think, one more maybe dotted somewhere. It looked like there was one maybe. I don't know. Those are just splattering of mechs in the main player's bases, so maybe not. But I guess you can call, no, that's too far away. You get my point. There's some clumpage, but realistically, a lot of this map is just shotgun. It goes everywhere. scramble, scramble, scramble for mexes and reclaim, of course. Taking a look at where players are headed off to. Again, we already pointed out the ones on the western side. A little bit east of that position, another 1v1. It is Ogle versus Unmaker. And then east of them, it looks like it's also going to be a 1v1 between Ayahuasca and Faffing Off. Faffing Off is in the water right now going for an upgrade. He's going for gun. And his opponent of Ayahuasca going for T2. Next door to him is Weeb going for a gun upgrade. He's facing off against Twitchy Mofo. And in the east, it's Gun started for Team 2, Sandman, versus Team 1's Rick started T2. So a little bit more defensive. On I will note, Gun started for Big Bang on the western side against Rekather. And looks like we're missing one player from each team. Yep, southeastern corner for Team 2 is Spectral Slave 137. He might be the corner air player for Team 2. Team 1, same situation. Definitely looks like he's going air for Polar. So it's 1v1 in air for now. 6v6. Usually somebody pops up T2, T3 air at some point closer to about 20, 25 minutes. But we will see what our players decide to do or not. Guns, again, done for Faffing Off in the middle, going for Stealth. Gun, going for T2, started on the western side for Big Bang. T2 almost done for Ayahuasca. And T2 almost done for Rick. Maybe he'll go for Gun. He is UEF. So he'll probably favor that Gun. He's facing off against Sandman, who's going just for Gun for now. Maybe Nano for him shortly, but comms are still probably deciding what they really want to do. Sensor package coming online for, again, the only Aeon in the game of Unmaker, so he's going to be able to utilize that quote-unquote unique ability, at least to him, in this game. We do see Gun almost done in the north for Team 1's Weeb as well. No real big conflicts yet. We do see a little bit of... Oh, looks like it was going to go west and decided to still go south. A couple of skirmishes on the east and middle side. We have a little bit of a skirmishing happening over here and soon to be over here. But it's no Gun for Rekather or any upgrades on board versus Gun and T2 for Big Bang. So a little bit of advantage for Team 1 there. And on the eastern side, no real comms are getting close yet. The closest is probably right here. Gun started for Ayahuasca. So getting, again, more of that offensive-defensive situation going. Faffing Off pops out of the little water there and decides to shoot a couple of shots into those thams from his opponent of Ayahuasca. Lots of Team 1 spam here for him. And Twitchy Mofo complaining about Ayahuasca lagging the game, I guess. We don't see that, of course, because it's a replay. But maybe we'll see a departure from him. Maybe, maybe not. But usually it depends. If players really complain about it, then usually those players that have the issues leave. But it is unfortunate when that happens. But it's just part of the game. It's unfortunate. There's no way to 100% eliminate it. We do see attacks in the east and the west, which means that I'm going to have the right side of the screen go for the right side of the map, and then the western side be for the western side. We do see Rick has that Gun and T2 online. Sandman only has the Gun, so that gives Rick a little bit more hit points versus Sandman. It looks like the attack just stops in the west. That's a little bit annoying because I split my screen for nothing, I guess. Gun started for Rekather. He's like, yeah, I probably need that. He's already at 40%, so it should get there pretty close to where Big Bang will be in range. There is one T1 PD just randomly right there. A couple of T1 Zuri are dealing with that right now. That might be enough. Yep, Gun is done for Rekather, and that will be the end of that. We pushing eastward now. So that will be fun to take a look at in a second. Looks like Rekather is going to maybe push forward here, but we'll zoom over here for a second and see what's going on. Okay, nothing too crazy. Looks like Sandman's falling back because he has no forces. That makes sense. And now we see the forces from Unmaker with the sensor package online moving into range of Team 1's Big Bang's command. You can see the range of the vision. It's right there. And this map is not a full 20 by 20. In the middle of the map, we have Team 2's Faffing Off being hit by some Zooey because his head is still sticking out of the water. And we have a Team 1 Torp launcher. So Faffing Off needs to get underneath full water coverage because he is not looking good. He's at 1-star vet, but he's losing tons of hit points. And this might be the first departure of the game on the western side. It looks like Big Bang is being thrown back by Team 2's defenses. And Faffing Off is dropping below 1,700 hit points. Oh, you got to be careful. Torp launcher is still shooting in, and Faffing Off will die here. The first departure of the game goes the Team 2 score for Team 1 in terms of the kill count. It is now a 6v5 in Team 1's favor. Attack missile started for Rick on the eastern side. I still don't know why Faffing Off didn't just move this way and get out of range of the everything, but if he had nano upgrade, I say that would make more sense why he was doing what he was doing, but yeah, I just don't know. It's kind of a weird, not sad, but just unfortunate situation. He couldn't go to land entirely, but he couldn't go to the water as well, so it's just not great for both. But I feel like he would have survived longer had he just gone full into the water and gone more of at a southeastern angle rather than trying to skate along the edge on that western side. Team 1 making some progress not only in the middle but on the more middle west side. We have Forces and Oglescom pushing in and wiping out Unmaker's facilities there. We do see Team 2 is gaining inroads into Big Bang's territory. Rekethur has gun only on board. Big Bang again, gun and T2 at 2-star vet versus 1-star vet Rekethur. We do see Unmaker is going to pull back. He has no other upgrades on board. So if he gets surrounded, he will die pretty quickly because he has no gun, speed, / range on board, or even shield on board, so needs to be careful if he's out in the open all on his lonesome. We have Rekethur now being pushed back by Unmaker's forces. We do, not Unmaker's forces, sorry, Big Bang's forces. We do see a T1 PD emplacement. Rekethur might try to fall back to that. Probably not. Of course, the Big Bang's gun will be out of range of the T1 PD anyways. Rekethur dropping into the mid-ish yellows. He needs some sort of transport or something to come pick him up and get him out of there. Big Bang not going to go for the kill. And that's probably smart, not just because there's T1 and maybe T2 PD being built. Actually, it's just T1 still. But they don't want to give another base to somebody on Team 2. Looks like Spectre Slave inherited the base from faffing up, so will really juice up his eco for air. And speaking of air, him and his next door neighbor of Twitchy Mofo have T3 air online. Team 1 only has the eastern side has T3 air. That is it. So Team 2 using the advantage while they have it. We have broadswords and ASF, not Wasp, what are they called? Shoot. Gemini, yeah, that's what they're called. Anyway, in the middle of the map, we have Twitchy Mofo trying to hold out the base here for Spectre Slave. Gunships are inbound to help thin out the numbers. Do a very good job of that, considering there's really only T1. Couple of T2s, but not really a lot of AA in the area. Anyways, more units inbound from Weeb. They're really focusing on this position. We even had a couple of forces from Ogle come to hang out, and they got sent away packing, so that was unfortunate for them. TAC missile on the eastern side here for Team 1 looks like it's been pretty much dealt with all the TMD, but he did kill off a couple of mexes, it looks like. Who did pay for itself, at least in some degree. Nano repair coming online here for Rekethur, being assisted by Unmaker, trying to get those hit points back up very, very quickly. He has the Region Aura online, which I don't think that affects comms. That I just noticed. It doesn't look like it. I think they start off with 10 hit points a second, so that doesn't affect. That's interesting. I didn't realize that it doesn't affect commanders. Interesting. Anyway, I guess that would be fair because then you'd have 2 Seraphim commanders just do advanced nano, advanced region, and they would just not die. So that's probably why. Speaking of advanced region, Team 2's Rekethur going for advanced region. Makes complete sense there. So that is going to really help keep Team 2 alive on this western front. Gunships inbound, ASFs inbound. To cover said gunships, we have a couple of ASFs running around for Team 1's puller, but we'll see what they end up doing in the middle of the map. Team 1 is crossing essentially the 50% mark ground across the horizontal line in every department, so doing very well for themselves in that regard. But we have gunships going after Big Bang, and unless the ASS from Team 1 come to assist, which looks like they are, they might... Oh, no, they get distracted. Those ASS from Team 2 get distracted. Big Bang dropping into the low yellows. Now in the reds. Oh, 25. Oh, nope, dropping very quickly. It might be enough. They might have just driven them away and been done with it. ASF's not wiped out for Team 1. And the kill still happens. The gunship got sent over just to confirm the kill on that comm of Big Bang. There he goes. Twitchy Mofo gets the credit for that. And Unmaker is like, yeah, and faffing off, congratulating Team 2's efforts there. So it's a tied-up game, 5v5. The western side is going to look very dangerous for Team 1. The base for Polar probably will be handed over to either Ogle or Ayahuasca. I feel like him being that far on the other side of the map. Yep, gets handed over to Ayahuasca. Just so he doesn't have to, do stuff in his base over here and then zoom, go over here and do stuff over here and then zoom. It just... is a lot of time and effort going back and forth like that just the APM just gets sucked away from him. So it's definitely better to have somebody closer do that. So That is why that's doing that. Lots of Rhinos and Hoplites from Team 2 Spectroslave. I mean, that's going to do a decent amount of job of dealing with all the Team 1 units, but the comm for Ayahuasca is not really going to be phased by that. The hit points on board those Hoplites are minimal, to say the least, and Team 1 Bombers over top are thinning their numbers out very quickly, so that's not really going to go well for them. But on the western side, we see Rector with the regular nano, but the advanced regen. I always want to say advanced nano, but it's advanced war regen. Pushing in Ilshis, not necessarily all around him, but they're just nearby. A couple of counter Ilshis online for Ayahuasca. That's not going to stop the column from Team 2's Rector, though. It's just going to be a little bit of a slowdown, but nothing too crazy there. Eastern side, looks like a little bit of stalemate here. Team 1 has artillery online, slowly eating away at whatever Team 2 has. Looks like they're getting counter artillery online, but they need a shield or two. That artillery is going to chew through them pretty quickly. Surprised it's not firing yet. Maybe wait. Oh, it looks like it's loading. Is he having some power outages maybe? It's not super great, but he should be fine. Weird. Oh, there it goes. There's a shot inbound. Shot's going to take out nothing, so that's unfortunate there. In the west, we have encounters between the Blazes of Unmaker and the Mongoose and all the other UEF units for Team 1's Ogle. I see a couple of... No, I didn't see any of the Riptides. Lots of T1 PD being built right here. Don't really know why they're all right here, but some protection nonetheless, getting a T2 PD online. And the attack is inbound, but Rector is going to clean out Team 1 from this beachfront property. We could see a naval facility built over here, and gunships inbound from Twitchy Mofo, still pushing the air advantage. And there has been some flak built. T2 Pigeon will go down, kills off a couple of T1 Pigeons as well for Ayahuasca. That's not great. That's not great. He's staying alive, but barely. Staying alive. Unmaker being pushed back by a ton of Mongoose and T2 PD fire. Looks like he tried to overcharge a couple of those Team 1s and just kind of got almost killed for it. He needs to fall back immediately. Team 1 is probably going to keep the pressure on him. 500 hit points and falling. 300 and... Oh, there it is. There's a shot from that triad. Wipes him out, and that is another kill for Team 1, dropping this game to a 5v4. Still in Team 1's favor. Team 2 has not gained the lead as of yet. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have big boat yet, but we have medium boat in small pond for Team 1's Ayahuasca. Cruisers, definitely a smart choice there. Constant spam of cruiser missiles, as well as, of course, passive AA in the area. Team 1 has essentially gained control and has kept control of the middle of the map for a decent amount of time now. And that's somewhat reflected in their eco, about 100, a little over 100 in favor for Team 1. Team 2 has gained a decent amount of territory in the west, and all they have to do is just actually build stuff there, and that lead will slowly diminish for Team 1. But not catch up entirely, but definitely do a decent amount of work. We have Sandman pushing in with Nano and Gun on board his comm. He's pushing in with some Ilshis. He's facing off against UEF forces and has artillery and missiles raining in. They are T2 mobile missiles targeting the T2 artillery. And it's going to be, again, Gun Nano versus Gun Missile and T2. If Rick can get a really lucky shot on Sandman's comm, that could make all of the difference. But we'll see if he ends up firing it or not. It takes a lot of skill to just plan and guess where the comm's going to walk, and then a little bit of luck as well to actually hit him with it. We do see Percy one tap by Sandman's comms. Overcharge wipes out everything else building here, and it looks like Team 1 will be pushed back for now. And Ilshi's cut west, removing everything else that once was here for Rick. Rick gets out of there. He pushes back a little bit, but it looks like staying there probably not a great idea. Missile outbound. Sandman moves. Ooh, that would have been close, but he wouldn't have been killed off. It would have taken out 8,000 of the hit points, I believe. And with that second veterancy, technically at full health, he can survive 2 hits. So there is that to consider. But at a bare minimum, another missile outbound. Sandman not moving. Will it hit him? Yes, it will. Actually, it takes out 6,000, not 8,000. My apologies. So he could survive another missile and another missile. So 2 more missiles he could survive. And his regen getting him up 88 hit points a second. Probably will get to that third one pretty shortly, back to back to back at this point. Actually, technically 4, because he's been hit once. He'll be hit 2 more times, and then that fourth one might be enough if it's, you know, actually lands on top of the comm or near the comm. A couple of rhinos trying to stop an Otham. That's not going to go anywhere for Team 2. We have a couple of bricks falling back to deal with them. Gunships probably going to be the ones that need to be deployed. We have T2 mechs being shot down, or at least shot at or something by, I would assume, the not rhinos, the Othams from Team 1. A couple of engineers hanging out down here. Don't know what they're doing, but they're helping out with producing some air units from Rector just to spend maybe a little bit of that mass. But the Othams in the base here for Team 2 is Twitchy Mofo. That's never fun. And it looks like most of the Othams have been dealt with. Now it's just lightning tanks. That's still annoying. Ooh, 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 ooh. The comm's right next to that. Ooh, that's such a go. Ooh, that was not in range, but that is a lot of E storage gone for Twitchy Mofo. He still has a little bit left, but that's a lot of power just gone. Lightning tanks still being dealt with. And actually, what an interesting benefit of this is they're wiping out all of the ASFs being produced by these facilities and any gunships or anything else. So that's kind of airlocking, sort of, kind of. For Team 2, not really airlocking entirely, but because there's still ASF and whatnot running around, but still no more ASFs. He's actually stopped this facility, and the lightning tank is now dealt with. But a lot of damage was done to Team 2's eco, and Team 1 catching up. But in the east, we have Sandman being defeated by Rick. Oh, is that a missile kill? That has to be a missile kill. So that is a win for Team 1, dropping this game to a 5v3, still in Team 1's favor at 22 minutes. So not everybody makes it past 20 minutes, and obviously not everybody's going to make it past 30 minutes. It's not looking good for Team 2 in terms of APM. We have, in the western side, Team 1 pushing back quite heavily, a couple of Othams. Lots of Ayashabo T2 mobile air cannons running around, the flat cannons for the Seraphim faction. We do have Rector just getting a crap load of those Ilshis. We have Mongeese, T2 PD, T1 PD trying to stack up to deal with them. It takes so much damage. 50 hit points a second regen is a decent amount to consider when the total hit points on board is 3,000. So in 6 seconds, that's 10%, and in a minute, that's all of the hit points regen. That is a very considerable amount of regen to get per second. And 10 seconds for the comm for Rector would be 1,000 hit points, and then, well, it's a little bit more than that. And then another 20 times, so 200 seconds would be more than enough to regen the full HP. Pushing in does have a couple of Percys to deal with. Will take away a chunk of the hit points, but looks like not targeting the comm, targeting all the Ilshis, just trying to put as much lead or plasma down range. And we have Team 1's Olga really trying to hold out. Missiles outbound from a couple of these Alohas. They say hello and goodbye. Looks like it's targeting all of the mass storage. That's a little unfortunate, but the Mex is already dead, so there's that. Looks like they want to make sure that the Mex is actually dead. Optim's pushing in on the eastern side for Spectral Slave. He has triple base now. His eco's at 5. Actually, no, it's not 5. That's Rector. We have Spectral Slave at 300. Team 2 has caught up considerably. Not in the lead just yet, but it's getting there. We'll see if Team 1's on a power outage or not. That's maybe the case, but it actually could be authentic generated eco. We'll see. Gunship over top being shot at. The shield is down. Going to target the stealth field as well. Will get shot down by the flag, but it again eliminates at least some of the defenses for Team 1's Ogle at a minimum. But this still the push from Ayahuasca is not letting up. We have Othams pushing back from Rector. He has 500 mass per second. What is he using all of that for? Looks like... Well, he is on double base. I did forget that Unmaker died, so he has his base. So he has double base. Spectral Slave has triple base. And Twitch Mofo has one base. I feel like he should get this base and just get double, double, double. A triple double. That'd be fun. Anyway. Looks like he's pushed back a little bit, but isn't able to break this position yet for Ogle. That's just going to be more and more annoying for Team 2 to deal with. We have Destroyer and Cruiser on the northern shore just in case Team 2 comes by, but now that we have essentially 2 naval facilities online for Team 1, I don't think Team 2 is going to come close to Navy, especially with Destroyers also in the water in the middle. If anything getting close to this is just going to get destroyed either by the missiles or by the lasers. Both options not good. 20k, oh, reclaim. I was like, what is he talking about in terms of 20k hit points? No, he's talking about 20k reclaim. 25 minutes on the clock. We have Rick going for a T3 upgrade. A couple of Ravagers being built behind them. Percy's blocking their shots, at least from the bricks. Looks like that's going to be not more than enough to deal with the bricks alone, but at a bare minimum, I mean, they do have the numbers. Looks like a couple of Vipers are inbound. They're targeting the very aptly targeted Ravager. Looks like the transport gets shot down. Drops off a couple of engineers for reclaim or something, I guess, but looks like they're going to be dealt with. Team 2's attack doesn't really go much of anywhere else. Couple of Team 1 units moving in for those Vipers, and they say no thank you and go home. There is a Ythotha now built. I don't know if it's built under the water. It probably is, since there's a second one and soon to be a third one built under there. Definitely a good place to build. Kind of hard to actually deal with when it's underneath the surface of the water like that. At least in terms of, you know, preventing the construction at least. The engineers, though, they are hovering above, so that's different. But, you know, there's a lot less weaponry that Team 1 can bring to bear to deal with that in terms of the total weaponry in the game. I can't talk very well. Grab maybe thought about for Spectral Slave, just constantly spamming out ASF, though. Team 2's Twitchmofo expanding his air grid just a little bit more. Maybe he'll go for Nuke. Maybe he'll go for something else. We'll see. Team 1, are you playing anything big? With a couple of air scouts running around for Team 1. Ythotha's pushing in. That will be more than enough to crack this position. There are a decent amount of Percys, but like I said, that it's not enough to kill the chicken outright. We do see in the north, nothing big over there. Fat Boy started for Ogle. Ogle's actually sitting over here. Airbase getting nice and expanded upon. We have T3 Omni in the back line. Love that because it provides Omni, and any sort of telemasers will be, you know, obviously instantly spotted. Also, it does prevent any sort of cloaking laser commanders moving into range of that base as well. So it a little bit of benefit with the Omni sensor on board there. Nothing in the middle yet for Omni, which is a little bit disappointing for Team 1, but I mean, they have one at least online, which is something. Do see a chicken outbound from Weeb down the eastern side. We have cruisers still able to shoot at least some of the units here. The Ythotha actually ignoring this base and going westward. Looks like they maybe just, I don't even know. There's really nothing over there, so I don't know what they're really doing with that. ASF fight over on the southwestern side of the map. Team 1 heavily in the lead for that. Team 2 has lost a little bit of their air power totally in terms of, you know, collectively air power between Twitchy and Spectre. We do see 78 online for Polar still, and Spectre sitting at 44. So not air dominance yet for Team 1. A little bit of air control, but not entirely. A good turn or two maybe would be enough. It is Gemini versus Gemini, so no faction advantage one way or the other. And if there's any AA underneath, it might make the difference. T3 AA to be specific. On the eastern side, Rick's forces being pushed back quite severely. There's a little bit of some defenses trying to be established, but too much time. There is a line of Team 1 PD being nestled in a wall section line, but we'll see how that goes for him. It's a lot of time to build all that, so I don't think that's going to really make a huge difference preventing the bricks from just pushing on forward, but we'll see. Mech spotted by Sandman. Oh, talking about how Spectral Slave is missing one. And I think he's just trying to say, hey, help out Chicken, says Sandman. Say, hey, there's one inbound. Love the assistance from Beyond the Grave from Team 2's players saying, hey, just so that you know, there's these things. Rick, fix your PC. It looks like Rick is now having some connection issues, most likely. That's unfortunate. Second Ythotha almost done for Rekather. We have gunship stacking commenting by Sandman from Team 1. Yeah, that's not, I mean, two of them isn't really stacking. There's just some there. And it looks like the facility that was built over here gets denied. There is an engineer. The engineer's denied. Doesn't look like that's really going to go anywhere. Ythotha is going to crash in this base for Spectral Slave, once belonging to faffing off. And now we have Vipers pulling back, Bricks pulling back. There's not a terrible amount of stuff on the ground for Team 2 to defend with. Are there any gunships nearby? No, there's one back there, but that's not going to do a whole lot. Oof, says faffing off. Ooh, that is going to hurt. There is a group of gunships there now. Oof is right. You're being again, this is awful, says Rector. But the game goes on for not an hour more, but a decent while longer, so it's any player's game at this point. And Brick's trying to hold off. They probably should sit underneath shield coverage just for a tiny smidgen of time. That'd save, 4,000 damage. Loyalists inbound. They can't EMP the chicken, but hey, they can at least try their hardest. Best thing to do is get around the chicken, constantly make it turn so its shots, again, take a little bit longer to activate and actually fire. T3 Mex is eliminated. That T3 Mex is still alive somehow, and that T3 Mex is also still alive. The chicken is losing a lot of hit points, though, so at a bare minimum, it might be a little bit of a trade between Team 1 and Team 2's chickens. Benefit for Team 2 is their chicken is in the middle of a base. The downside is it's in the middle of a base, and gunships over top is not going to help anything. Team 2 probably needs to engage, but if they do, the ASFs are right behind them. I think they have to do it at some point. Gunships are targeting the Colossus now. It's going to lose a lot of hit points. ASFs are inbound, and it looks like trying to singe it. It looks like Rick control Ks, and is there any comments in chat about it? I will leave. So it looks like Rick did leave because it's the connection issue. It is unfortunate. Team 1 will still be the lead for comms at 4v3, but at the bare minimum, they do lose a player. That's APM. That's all that other things. But somebody else on Team 1 does get a base, so a little bit of, Reyes hope or whatever for Team 1 for that regard. But silver lining, that's the word I was looking for. But that is unfortunate nonetheless. Gunship's still alive for Team 1's Polar, and ASF engage one another. There is AA on board those gunships, so Team 2 is fighting a battle on multiple fronts, in the air at least. And air power pretty much denied for Team 1 now. They do have the gunships. The GC falls back severely damaged at that point. Control K, scoop the mass back up, and funnel into a new project. It's not worth sitting there and having it regen at 10 hit points a second for the next game, essentially. Gunships are back. Don't know why they're not engaging. The Team 2's ASF aren't engaging. I mean, there is, again, AA on board, but I just don't know if it's not enough. They're not restorers, so it should be fine. Team 2 on the Western Front, though, not looking good. They had a lot of gains with the death of Big Bang. He did go out in a Big Bang, but it's just not really a whole lot there. A couple of sniper bots going after the chicken. New chicken online. We have Percy's engaging Optims. That's a lot. That's a lot of Optims. That is not what I wanted to grab. 53 Optims, so essentially 50 of them versus Ogle's 35. So comparable numbers, especially with Percy's and all the damage that they do and the whatnot. But some of the shots are missing, so that does need to be taken into effect when you count who wins what. Chicken for Team 1, going to kill off the chicken for Team 2. Once again, that's a second dead chicken for Rekith. They're not doing well in that regard. Missile inbound from Team 1 actually hit the reclaim. That's a little bit unfortunate for Team 2. Is that from the comm? That was from the comm. Killed off 10,000 mass. He's on 5-star vet now. And the gunships are inbound, and the Optims are pushing back, but again, they're falling back to a decently defended position, as well as the Whalers coming in to assist, and that's going to be more than enough to drive those Percys away. Sorry, drive the Optims away, if not completely eliminate them. Megawith online for Spectre Slave. Team 1's Weave has invaded this base, hasn't taken anything yet, but there's really nothing online for Team 2 to stop them with, so they own it now? Kind of. They're preventing it at a minimum. Team 1 and Team 2 at the same amount of eco, 1.4k. Monkey coming online, more and more ASF production. We do see a nuke has been thought about building it next to the SMD. I don't like the placement of both of those. Build the SMD underneath shield coverage, build a nuke underneath shield coverage, space those things apart. I mean, you already have PD right here. Might as well just stick it right there and call it a day. I just never like where it plays. Oh, there's a bomber somewhere. I heard that. Where is it? I swear I heard a strap bomber drop a payload somewhere. Huh. Anyway, I heard it. At least I thought I heard it. SMD is done. Nuke is started. Nothing else coming online for Team 2. Just a bunch of power. Oh, look. Oh, no, there's a nuke. It's not done yet. Looks like Rekith wants just a little bit more power. And then that's going to build that. I don't like the placement of the nuke and the SMD because they're too close together, especially with the power. They're not touching one another. But Cascade is definitely a very, very concerning thing for those placements of vital structures. 34 minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 4 players left with the departure of Rick. Doesn't count as a kill, of course, but still a departure nonetheless. Team 2 at 3 players left, losing Sandman, Unmaker, and faffing off. Team 1 also lost Rick. earlier on. Eco situation a little bit favoring for Team 1, partially driven by map control. Actually, mostly driven by map control and the fact that Team 2 has lost this base right here, so that doesn't really help any things. Engineers are on the scene, and they are reclaiming as we speak. There is a gunship inbound, so that should deal with those quite nicely. Going to take a second to finish them all off, but, you know, killing off all that eco is, or potential eco for Team 1 is probably a good idea. Map control is still in favor for Team 1. I'd say about 56% versus Team 2's 44%. So we'll see which way it swings later on. Again, the game goes on for another 40-ish minutes, so it goes over an hour. So strap yourselves in. If you don't have enough time to watch the replay now or the cast now, save it in your save for later. Watch playlist, whatever the heck it's called, and watch it when you have more time. But I really do appreciate all the time and attention you give to these videos, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. And for those that can sit through an hour plus of me talking and not go insane, I appreciate that as well, and applauding to you, because sometimes after casts, especially longer ones, I'm like, I am spent for the rest of the day kind of thing. It drains me of all of the everything. Rush B Psychobly. What? I don't even, what does that mean? Is that a Russian thing? That makes me think that's like spelt in Russian. That's a gun. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. So, probably some Russian for gun or some language for gun. No idea. Somebody in the comments will always let me know. Donut has been started by Rekather. So, Air Experimental coming online here shortly. We have Rekather done with the Advanced Nano, 460 seconds. Took him a while to build that thing, but it's now done. So there is that. He's also on 5-star vet. He's regenning at 270 hit points a second for a total of 52,500. Kim Jong-un's supreme red bam. Sounds like the laser's coming online for Team 2 Spectre's Light. Makes me think there's possibly a telemaser soon in Team 2's repertoire. We do see Rekather coming out of the water. Lots of Percy. Still needs to watch that. That is a disturbing amount of Percy's. It could not necessarily one-tap Rekather, but probably two-tap him. Two chickens severely damaged. This chicken severely damaged. This one turns to its left or right. Even if the chicken just wants to get tiny bit closer. And it might be enough to clip this Ythotha. It probably won't clip the other one. Team 2's western front is collapsing quite heavily. We do see another chicken almost done. That might be enough. This Ythotha gets out of range just barely. Oh, Ion Storm drifting. Nope, not going to be enough. And Team 2's Rekather is falling back. GC coming in to assist. That is a different one or the same one. No way that regen that quickly. Yeah, there's no way that's the one that regen, 10 hit points a second. Because that's 60 seconds. That's 600 hit points. 10 minutes. That's... Shoot, I can't do math. That's 6,000 hit points. If I can do the math right. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. So I think I did math right. I don't know. Math is hard when you're thinking about casts and whatnot. Anyway, Ythotha about to go down. This Ythotha not targeting the other one. That's unfortunate. It is going to get away. Maybe go home. Tons of missiles raining in from Team 1's Ogle's Spearheads. We do see that GC coming in to block for the calm of Rekather. Rekather regenerating that thing at 250 hit points a second. Regen, look at that thing. That is regenerating very quickly. Needs to stay there, though. He's still losing a ton of hit points. He's going to drop below the... Oh, that's a lot of death. That's a lot of hit points. Doesn't get the veterancy, but stays online a little bit longer. 250 and still couldn't outpace the damage from those Percies. That is insane. Czar is done. Faffing off makes a comment about it, say, hey, it's done, just to let you know. Ythotha assisted by a ton of Othams and other support on the ground. Team 1 really pushing this middle vector. Nuke is done for Team 2's Twitchy-mofo. Nuke is done for Rekather. It's almost done loading. He's sitting at 900 mass per second. Team 1 leading the game, though, at 1.8 versus 1.5. Team 1, do you have any bigger ideas on how to end the game? Nope. Just T3 units, T4 units, and everything else after that, essentially. There's nothing else. Or actually before that, not after. Rekethar still trying to hover between water and land. And his base to the west is gone for the most part. Where did that chicken go that he had? Looks like it's dead now. These two chickens somehow still alive. We have Ythotha at 5-star vet, one at 3-star vet. Nuke is spotted by Polar. Team 2's Rigoreso player. Spectral building his own nuke. Telly says Polar, so he's looking at maybe he's going to build an upgrade. Team 1 bombers over the top. That's just going to be a scratch to him. He's already regenerating essentially all of those hit points before those chickens even come into range. There are 3 of them inbound though, so that is a lot of firepower. He needs to be careful. This could be another departure for Team 2. They can't suffer any more. If they do, it's going to be a 4-2 advantage or 2-1, and that's going to be a lot of APM to have at Team 1's disposal. Rekethar getting into the water. Ooh, it's not going to be super close. Team 1 bombers over top. Nuke is outbound from Rekethar. He's launching it as he's moving his comm. He gets underneath the surface of the water, but his western base is gone, at least the one on that environment. Nuke is inbound to this position, and it looks like the Ythothas are going to move. That one might move out of range, but that one's going to move into range, or it might just clip in between both of them. Who knows? It's going to kill off a lot. Ooh, that's not going to be a good nuke for Team 1. Kaboom! It does clip. The Ythotha doesn't clip this one. What? Barely does, I should say. One Otham remains of that grouping. That nuke killed off 62,000 mass. And there are 3 Ythothas inbound. And look where they're going. They're going straight for that base. That nuke is in mortal danger. And I don't think it's going to live much longer than that. We do have bricks on the eastern side. Actually, no, those are Percy's on the eastern side. Pushing in. There's nothing on the ground. Tons of Team 1 transports. And the comm of Weeb is killed off by Twitchy Mofos. Czar, it's now 3v2 and Team 2, well, sorry, actually 3v3, apologies. Tied up game once again. Can't count, can't do math, can't do anything. My brain is thinking 1,000 minutes per second or something. See, I can't even do math right. I can't do anything right. My brain just mush. It's just mush. Apologies for the mushy brain. I have smooth brain instead of, what was the smooth brain versus the wrinkled brain, I guess. Chicken is done. It won't save the nuke. They're targeting the pigeons and all the everything else. 2 of the 3 Ythothas are dead. There goes the nuke. But that is going to be a lot of mass. Rekethar again still in the green. Overcharge takes out another chunk of those hit points. Might kill off the SMB. It does kill off the SMB, and a lot of that power. That Ythotha is dead to the ion storms from Team 1, but 3 chickens for 1 plus a nuke and an SMD. I don't know if Team 2 will take that trade, but Rekethar is down a ton of income because of the attack earlier. Faffing off, pointing out the fact that there is a ton of Percy's inbound. Team 2 does not have the ground defenses. It's all AA, some bricks, but nothing really else to really defend against that. That donut was dealt with eventually. It did kill off a ton of stuff here. Kill off a comm. King Jong-un super red beam. Supreme red beam. Nuke is outbound from Team 2 once again. It's outbound from Twitchy. Moving northward is that is going to be close. SMD needs to be focused immediately. I think it might be enough though. The nuke is half over the map now. Oh, it's going to be close. That is so unfortunate for Team 2. It is going to load. Look at that. Ooh, that was, I'd say, what, 20 seconds maybe? Anyway, that's an interesting name, to say the least, for Spectral Slaves Upgrade. That's an interesting name. Anyway, SMD says both of those players, unfortunately, wasn't able to kill off the air grid. It was close, though. And Team 1's definitely going to be spamming up more engineers to deal with another SMD loading. That would have been the death of Polar and his air grid. It would have been game over for air for Team 1 for a while. That would have been devastating. But nope, SMD does load in time. Gunship Horde inbound. And the Fat Boy is dead. So really, Team 1's fish in a barrel are going to be dealt with quite easily. There's really not a lot of AA anywhere. All the AA for Team 2's Redeemers, though. Looks like they're pulling southward just to protect as many of those as possible. And Rekethur just in the middle of the everything. He's at, again, 5-star vet, 270 hit points a second regen. He's not really worried about it much. Those Percies aren't grouped up together to be really worrisome. And that is the end of that attack. Team 1 has claimed a ton of territory, though. But in terms of overall gains, I mean, Team 2 has held what they've held for a while. Still, this base remains undeveloped. And Team 1's Polar is over here with a line of Team 1 PD, preventing any engineers from saying hi. But besides that, there's really nothing on the ground to defend. We do see Autumn's moving in. Again, Rekethur is vulnerable. He needs to get some torp launchers just spammed up on the shoreline or near the shoreline. We need more air, says Polar. I mean, that's definitely true for Team 1. They should be scooping up that wreck now. 24,000 mass just sitting there. And satellite has been started by Ogle. UEF doing UEF things. More air being expanded upon, it looks like, for Ayahuasca. Going for a bomber. They don't have air control, so I don't know why they're building that. But well, there's actually not that many ASFs online for Team 2 either. They might get away with it. Nuke is almost loaded once again. Nuke over here is loaded. Do you fire immediately? No. Okay. Be like that. Scath is started by Spectre. So he has all of the toys. He has his Telemazer being built. He has a Nuke that's loaded. He has a Scath that's under construction. Barely started, but still under construction. And everybody else is not doing anything else like that. We did have a Nuke over here that was killed off. Nuke over here did not land. It was close. SMD pointed out by faffing off, assisting with being like, hey, there's a thing here. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. And they can see the Novax, which is, again, hey, there, there it is. That's why I like the different icons for certain things, because you can zoom out and you can still see it from all the way over there. You don't have to be like, oh, what's that symbol again? Oh, that's what the Novax is. It's just the square or rounded square. Actually, it looks like Team 1 might actually have air. I don't know. He's at 66 with 1 bingo on fuel. 68, so 130 versus Polar's 100. So Team 2 has air control, but not by much. They tell me just out of range of the Team 1 PD, says faffing off. Ooh, yeah, that is true. So he could teleport right about here, and his laser should be able to hit this one. And now that this one's being built, that's a second one. And he might be able to hit the comm, but comm probably will move out of range. Maybe. All E-storage, says Sandman. Ooh. That's very volatile. He could telemazer in, kill off the E-storage, kill off the SMD because of that, and then just nuke. Team 1 has another nuke there, so that wouldn't work. But if they could kill both the nukes off, that would be a kill there. Or at least a base kill, at least. Team 2 needs more shielding, getting it online now, but it's going to take a couple of seconds to really deploy all of it. Scathis still in the red, but it's climbing. Again, first game ender has made its appearance. We see the, yep, dropping it. Is that a nuke? I was going to say, I thought I just heard a nuke launch from somebody. Team 2 launches another nuke, number 3 of the game. 3 for Team 2. Nuke landing here. Nuke launching for Team 2's Twitchy-mofo as well. This one's going east. It's going for this base. SMD is not loaded. The mass is still there, which means the mass will not be there soon. That is a huge missed opportunity for Polar not grabbing that Czar. I mean, at a bare minimum, Team 2 denies it. So there's that. And Nuke is going to kill off a Fat Boy. That's never fun. And the base that's been vexing Team 2 for a long time will finally be eliminated. And that might just be almost a headshot on the Fat Boy. Pretty darn close. Kaboom! And a ton of those T3 and other units fall down. Here comes the nuke over here. Kaboom! It was 24,000. Now it's only 1,000. 23,000 mass out of the 24 was eliminated just from that one wreck from Team 1's side of the map. So lots of lost mass there. Team 1 is skyrocketing in the mass income, though. 2.3K versus 1.4. And as a reminder, Team 2 has 2 nukes and a game ender being built, plus the construction of the telemazer, or at least the teleporter upgrade of the telemazer for Spectre Slave. And the Authams are just hanging out over here. Don't know what they're doing. There are some depth charges being deployed by the Tsar to be able to deal with some of those. It's not a lot of damage. We have some Solaces inbound. Now that's going to start doing some work on those Authams. And it will force back Team. I feel like that tech could have just happened. Yeah, they would have breached. Maybe Rekather would have been killed with that amount of Othams, but yeah, it's definitely more iffy in that regard. Tons of AA being deployed up here to the north. Bomber is online, deploying artillery now for IO. Actually, nope, scratch that. He's reclaiming that. Oh, please tell me you're building the thing. You're building the YOLO. Second satellite is done. Third one under construction. UEF continuing to do UEF things. And more air grid and artillery over here to the east for Polar. And that's it. We have tons of T1 AA just firing over here. And nothing too crazy happening. Satellite over this base, but it's not going to pierce the shielding by any means. Already started 20% at 48 minutes. Love that. Actually, yeah, started, but it's being reclaimed. So there went that. Are they moving it? Is that why they're reclaiming it? I feel like that's a fine spot. What? Oh, they're building it at... That doesn't make any sense. They should be reclaiming it faster than... Huh. That's very weird. Is that a glitch? Weird. Follow these. It says Sandman. They go into this. Like how there's just a random conga line of engineers. I know where they're going. They're going that way. Oh, now it's being built now. I have no idea what's going on. Huh. Anyway. That's just a little bit of waste of mass for Ayahuasca. He is producing 1.1K though, so there is that. Team 2, what are you up to over here? Looks like a shield. So I don't know what he's going to do with those pigeons. Probably just needs more power. SMD not shielded. Is it shielded? Says we. Harassed with crabs. Says faffing off. Lots of conversations in chat from the players that are dead in this game. There are the same amount that is alive and dead at 50 minutes. I don't think I said this, but let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game at 49 minutes and some seconds. Really do appreciate all the time and attention. Hopefully you're enjoying the little bit of a longer cast. And if you do, please do let me know. I love responding to comments. I know I'm a little bit behind, at least in terms of today, in terms of recording, but I should have most of those replies, or most of those comments replied to by the end of the day. So thank you so much for your patience and for watching and all of the everything. Subscribe, like all the YouTube things if you desire to do so. I can't force you to do anything because that would be impossible. At least especially through a screen of some sort. Spectre Slave. Almost done with the teleporter. Almost done with the nuke. And halfway done with this game. All of the everything is just kind of in progress. Satellite started by Team 2 switching. He's like, well, if Team 1's going to do it, I'm going to do it. So that's going to be number 1 for them. 4 coming online here now for Ogle. He has some T1 PD here. So if a telemazer went in... It'd have to be right about there. You could grab that one, and that one. That one will probably be out of range. Spectre Slave saying, go away. There's some spy planes here. It's like, go away with that. Pings on the western side, though. A couple of lasers going after mexes. That's annoying for Rekather. Bomber inbound all by its lonesome. And Rekather's just going to walk into it and take 10,000 damage. He's like, that's fine. Don't care. He's going to walk into one. He'll take the damage and get out of there. 12,000 mass sent over the Spectre Slave. But Rekather is funding Spectre Slave's endeavors, and artillery is launching from Polar to the north, or from the north. It is in the green. Scathis is almost done. Second artillery, although, is going up very quickly. So that'll be number 2 for him, and there should be one. No, I finally went away, whatever that nonsense was. Bomber inbound, going to wipe out all of that. The Tsar was taken out. Unfortunately, sorry for missing that. But Bomber does land on the upper plateau. Actually, doesn't land on the upper plateau. And the Scathis has been spotted by Team 1. I feel like it's been spotted for a while now, but you know what would be funny is if the artillery actually hit his own spy planes. That would be funny. Another shield coming online. Spectre Slave still not done with that telemazer. Really needs to get the project going with that ton. Ooh, that's a... That is 67 gunships supported by double the amount of ASFs. Don't know what Team 2's Twitchy Mofo is up to with all of those gunships. Oh, please do not tell me you're sending... Okay, you're not. I was going to say, please don't tell me you're sending 67 gunships after a couple of spy planes. Oh, look! Spy planes are unshielded. SMD is the target, it looks like. Or the Nuke, or even both of them. Nuke is loaded. Ooh, another shot inbound from somewhere from Team 1. It's over here to the west. There it is. Ayahuasca has that artillery piece locked and loaded. Shields need to be built incredibly fast. Ooh, that's not good. I think those 30% additional hit points actually saved that Nuke. Ooh, that was close. Shield comes back online. Spy plane moves. Doesn't want to get shot down by its own artillery. Scathis is done. First game ender of the game has been completed. 52 minutes on the clock. I don't see anything from Team 1 for game ender yet, but, I mean, you're stacking up the satellites or enough artillery, and it's going to be that. Nuke is launching. He's like, get out of that silo, and you're going here. Team 1's army moves. Yep, that's definitely smart there. Probably should actually know it's moving there, not the other way around, so that's not great. It'll kill off at least a huge chunk of the land force at the moment. Scathis has already taken some damage. Ooh, that's not good. Assist says Sandman assist. He's talking about the shielding. Building more and more shielding does help, but assisting more often than not does a lot more. The Nuke is vulnerable, isn't being targeted just yet. The SMD is down. That's the only one in his base. And his base is not looking good. The comm is exposed, but the telemaser is almost done. Ooh, not looking good. Scath is still firing volleys. Nuke lands. Kaboom! Wipes out a chunk of those forces, and we have 3 chickens inbound from Ayahuasca. The artillery landing on this base to the north. Second artillery is done, so 3 of them landing on Spectral Slate's position. And he takes a shot to the left side of his face. That's got to hurt. It's going to leave a burn mark. His Nuke is still alive and is now on 5 ed. Gunships are inbound. I would surmise Nuke is inbound. It's going to overshoot. It's going to go for the art. You didn't put an SMD there, did you? No SMD there. That's unfortunate. If Team 2 can hold out for the shielding, 66% of the artillery landing will be denied. And tons of ASFs engaged. Team 2 loses that engagement. Oof, that is a lot of firepower that Team 1 has in the air. Gunships are flee, fly, you fools, fly. And that is not going to be enough to get away. The ASFs will rip that apart. Artillery finally takes out the Nuke. And the Nuke to the north takes out the artillery. Kaboom! There goes that. 1 chicken is down. 1 monkey lord is down. 1 crab, 1 monkey remain. Soon to be only 1 monkey. And a couple of bricks. We have those ASF essentially airlocking Team 2 at this point. Team 2's air grid over here to the east is not looking good, but the artillery has been diminished, at least in some part. And the base to the northeast incredibly wiped out by the 1 satellite. And actually, that's what some of the Scathis was targeting, was the air grid. So I didn't notice that, but oofda, that is hurting. Now this base for Ayahuasca is being hit. There's enough shielding that should be fine, but yeah, Beauty says faffing off. Don't know what he's talking about, but is he going to telemaser? Not yet, but he still has that in his back pocket in case there's a donut. Please okay, the donut's almost reclaimed. Okay, I was going to say, please reclaim that donut. We have ASF inbound from Ayahuasca. We have a huge move order to just go south. Bombers inbound. Oh, I wonder what that target is going to be. Those AA units need to sit in front. They cannot be all crumped up next to the Scathis, but it doesn't matter because there's another group here, and there's Redeemers over there. Sorry, Bouncers over there, and all of the bombers are just dead and gone. Look at those lightning tanks just fire every which way. Look at them just zapping all that. It's just like it's like a bug zapper. The shield is down around the Scathis. Ooh, another shield comes back online, or comes online. Second, looks like it's just kind of existing there. Team 2 1.1k versus Team 1's 3,000 mass. They're producing almost triple the mass that Team 2 is. And Team 2 has the Scathis online. Team 1, are you producing anything else anywhere? Second artillery is online. That's something. And Mavor has been started by Ogle in the middle of all of the everything. Again, not really well placed. Can't put the pigeons next to it or anything. So it just exists. But hey, it's a Mavor nonetheless. And the artillery has broken through the shielding. Once again, the Scathis is being healed. Oh, it's 136 hit points. Looks like maybe it was a power outage for Spectral Slave. Ooh, needs to fix that immediately because that was not good. Scathis is not up to 1-star vet yet, so it can't regen hit points yet. Yet being the keyword. He can't telemazer yet because he needs power, and he needs power for his shielding, and his shielding is on, off, on, off, on, off. Not looking good. Make E-storage, says Sandman. And what is he doing with all that? What are you doing with all that power, Rekather? Oh, Twitch Muffa, how's your power? Ooh, it's kind of low on the bar. That's not good. Needs to fix that immediately. He's trying to micro all the everything. Another Yuthotha online. Does Team 2 have any gunships remaining? They have some, but not a lot. It is spotted. And we have that conga line of Optimus being like, we don't want to go stay out of the Colossus. Go away. And hey, naval facility coming online, upgrading to T2 as we speak. And those gunships have to be pulled into service to deal with that. Either the nuke has to do close fire, nuke support, which it's not going to do that because it's not even loaded yet. It is almost, but not enough. And Scathis now on 1-star vet, regenerating 25 hit points a second. Definitely needs that to keep itself alive. Shielding is starting to collapse, but it's being assisted by groups of engineers, so it should be fine. Gunships, shielding is being assisted. That actually should be enough. He'll probably, he'll lose that T3 mechs, but he will save his base nonetheless, so at least out of benefit. He has that. And explosion in the north corner of the map. We have T2 PD that tried to be spammed up and go after this. It gets denied. Lovely attempt by Rekather, but doesn't go anywhere, unfortunately. Othams are just surrounding that one. It's the chosen one, I guess. Strat bombers somewhere. At least that's what I heard. Ion storm doesn't affect too much. Another T3 mechs will probably go down. That's facility. Facility goes down. That's not too crazy. You got 3 T2 mechs is going down. That's 81 mass a second. Team 2 needs all the mass. Team 1 now at 1.8. I feel like that's probably reclaim related. That's why I saw the 3,000. Ooh. How do you have that much power being consumed? Negative 235,000. Oh, that would do it. I was like, why does he have that low power? Telemazer, that would do it. Scath is still shielded, but it's not looking too hot. 58 minutes on the clock. And we have artillery online for Team 2's Rekather. He's going for a second and then a third. No YOLO, surprisingly enough, from Team 2 or Paragon or anything else. Looks like the Novax has been abandoned. That one has done a decent amount of job combined with the Scathis enough. So, there's that. And providing constant firepower. We have SSU teleporting on top of the SMD. T1 PD being spammed up as quickly as possible. I don't even know. Oh, T1 PD outside of its range, so that's not going to help anything. And T1 PD not being built here. That's going to be enough. SSU, it will build at least a couple more. It looks like it's targeting the shielding. Ooh, interesting play from Rekather, targeting the SMD by itself. Its explosion might be enough to kill off the SMD. And Scathis raining in. Engineers are distracted. It might help. We have artillery raining in now from Rekather. The SMD is down right before its death. It did its job. And that nuke should be launching from Team 2 immediately. And it's loaded. Do you fire it now? There's the launch. And those 2 artillery pieces for Team 1 are being dealt with now. So they have no artillery now. Another bomber's almost done. They have that. And Mavor is in the yellow. It's approaching 50%. Too bad it doesn't go red, orange, yellow, green. That would be kind of nice. But, more code, I guess. I don't know. I guess you could just set a parameter to where if whatever the hit point value is between this and this, have this be the color and just modify that. I don't think it would take that much. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. Anyway, that's my thought at least. Maybe they don't have. No, they don't have the source codes. That's fair. Anyway, here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Wipes out those 2 artillery pieces. That nuke has paid for itself considerably well. 300 jumps 200,000 mass more killed off, and now the Scathis is being very vengeful on that Mabor. There's 4 satellites over top, and Team 1, they have 2 right here. I don't think that's enough to break the shielding. It might be, but maybe not. Bomber is coming, says faffing off. And, well, Bomber is coming, I should say. I don't see bombers. Artillery landing to the north over there. Looks like maybe the air grid. This is probably going to be the main target, though, that Team 2 should go after. Once the Mavor's out of the equation and all the satellites, that's probably game. There is a telemaser that is being now loaded up and fired off. Don't know where he's going. He's probably going for the Scathis, I would surmise. There's no PD here, so I don't see it just yet. Again, 1 hour has now elapsed in the game. Yeah, he's half done, so we should see the icons somewhere. I don't know where he's going. I don't see him anywhere over here, which is very... Oh, there's the ping. There it is. Spectroslave, turn around. There's a thing right there. Ooh, you gonna go? Are you gonna meet it, or are you gonna run away? I think he's gonna run away. Ooh, that's not good. There goes the telemaser for Team Maser. Says faffing off. Here it comes. T1 PD being built up as fast as possible. There's a couple of P-gens though, so actually 1 P-gen. So I don't know where he's going. He's building a Hubatham, so that's something. Let's see. T1 PD being built there. There's the telemaser. He is in range of the laser, and there he goes. Telemaser countering telemaser from Team 2 to Team 1. And that is now a 2v3 game. Lovely attempt by Polar, but Polar, whatever you have to pronounce his name. Oof sound says, oh, the Minecraft. Oof. It's more, I think it's a little bit higher pitched than that, but you get my point. A couple of Othams come say hi. They took out the GC, but can't break past the T2 PD. And even Recruiter's coming in to assist as well. But with 2 artillery pieces almost online over there, we have 1 and a second one already in the yellow. We have the bomber is inbound. They're trying to obfuscate the bomber with all of the ASFs. And here comes that lightning tank horde just being eliminated right about now. The bomber will not make it out of there. And it is going to fly off screen. That's unfortunate. But a lot of AA has been dealt with for Team 2. So that might have some ramifications for another bombing run for Team 1. There are strat bombers being built, and Pigeons are being targeted. Tons of focus on this one, building strat bombers, it looks like. The artillery from Team 2 has cracked most of the shielding. Shield pops back online, but there's vulnerable Pigeons. There's that little, the Pigeon E-storage situation. There goes the T3 land headquarters. That's not good for Ogle. And he's on a tiny little circle of stuff. We have a land force inbound. Tons of Percys and Ilshis and Othams and maybe bricks. And it looks like spearheads and just everything in the kitchen sink being thrown at this Fat Boy being built incredibly quickly by the remaining players on Team 2. We have Redeemers moving in. We have Bouncers dotted around. We have T3 Parashields in there. We have Othams as well. The land force and the Scathis is like, no. Absolutely not. Not dealing with that nonsense. And the Scathis actually, I will admit, is the best unit, because technically it is a unit, not a structure, to deal with large armies, because it just shoots a watering can of a whole bunch of stuff, shotgun, whatever you want to call it. But look at this, just wiping out tons of units in each little artillery shell. And this is going to be more than enough. Both of the experimentals are going to need some sort of shield coverage. We have the AA moved in to protect that vector, and the second artillery is down on the west. This base for Rector has been cut in half roughly, but he's still doing not too bad there. Artillery landing on Twitch and Mofo's base. That's never fun. The nuke is half loaded, 329,000 mass. And 1 hour, 3 minutes on the clock. Group of strat bombers hanging out. Oh, looks artillery over here to the more westish of that position. That's the only thing left. There's no shields, no nothing. It was just, it looks like a couple of emplacements, but yeah, just the artillery. So that's still not dead yet, which is kind of surprising. Kill says Sandman. Talking about this, looks like a horde of Otham production. But Team 2 has the defense online over there. They don't have a lot over here, though. Looks like that's what Team 1 is noticing. They're moving more westward, but land is probably not going to be the way that Team 1 wins this game at this point. Scathis raining in shots to something over here, I guess. Don't know what they're going for, but they're going for something. And it looks like... yeah, it's just going to target whatever's over here. There's already dead mexes and everything else, so... There's some shots land over there. The Mavor is still alive somehow. It has taken some hits, but it's still alive for now. Ogle barely holding on to all four, actually 3 of his satellites. He lost one of them. And should be... I don't know. I don't know if the Mavor will stay online. With another artillery emplacement, we have 3. Looks like it's just going to be the 3 plus the Scathis, so that's a lot of firepower to have. If the Scathis were to turn its eye onto Ogle, that might be the end of that base for him. Clear Mexes, says Sandman. Just deal with all of these T3 Mexes. Team 1, 2.1 versus Team 2's 900. Still producing double the mass than Team 2, but Team 2 is dug in. Here come bombers. They're inbound for 1 target and 1 target only. There's a tiny bit of a gap. This might be enough to crack the Scathis. If it does, then I'm going to assume Spectroslave is just going to go for the Telemazer. Shields are going to be impacted by the bombs. Scathis, how you doing? How you feeling? You doing good? No, not doing good there, buddy. Oof. And Spectroslave is going to be the target standing next to a P-Gen. That's never fun, but he is on 1-star vet, though. So it's going to take 4 bombers to kill him off. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be enough. Team 2 is going to lose. Spectroslave, there it goes. Telemazer threat has been dealt with. And now it is a tied game once again at 2v2. There is still a T3 artillery right here. Looks like shields come online at the last second possible. And the AA was just not enough. Everything transferred over to Rekethur. And, oof, that's got to hurt. And the Telemazer was not used. It is a UEF and a Seraphim versus a UEF and a Seraphim. Artillery still raining in on that position. The shield is down. Another one comes online. It's just constantly build, replace, build, replace, build, replace. Ooh, comes online at the last moment. Target artillery on Mavers is faffing off. Yeah, that has to be the target right there. Looks like Twitchy Mofo is going to be the focus. If Team 1 can eliminate him, then it's just a 2v1, and then it's just an assassination game instead of an annihilation game. Looks like the satellite traversing the map doing something. Team 1, are you up to any sort of sneaky things? Nope. Strap bombers dropping bombs. We have 2 GCs inbound from Team 2's Rekethur. Look where they're going. And again, 99,000, actually not even 99,000. We have 130,000 and 140,000. Or excuse me, 139,998 and 129,998. No one gets even numbers for Colossi. Nope. Nope. That would be kind of funny, though. If it gets the 5-star vet, it does get the even 150,000. But that'll never happen. No. Just it's a meme at this point. GCs, tons of the everything. We have gunships and bombers raining in. And a little bit of AoE is going to help out a lot with this because it'll do damage to both of them. But it's going to take a minute to chew through, again, all of the hit points. And they're getting closer, and they still have, more than half HP for both of them. And that Mavor is going to die. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Even if one of them dies, maybe right now, it should have enough HP to at least get there and at least crash land on something. There are T1 PD emplacements. There's, targeting the E-storage, essentially, I think is what Sandman is talking about. Just, E-storage, target this first, blow that all up. Here come those GC. Ravages have been built. Ogle's like, get me out of there, and I don't blame him. This GC, you will not stop the UEF just backing off. I feel like you're going to stop it. The Mavor is down. That's the main concern. Target the shielding. Target the P-Gens. There's the explosion there. GC now at almost... is at 5-star vet. There goes Ogle. I don't think that was a kill. I think that was a control K. Actually, no. It does get killed off by... Rekethur's artillery. Oof, that's got to hurt. But it would have been killed off by the GC, I think, at some point anyways. So there's the kill there. Get the Novax, says faffing off. Doesn't actually grab the last Novax, but... that's fine, because there's only one of them instead of 3. But there's artillery raining in. There's hardly any engineers nearby. The shielding is going to collapse here very shortly, so that satellite is not going to live much longer. There's another shot. There's the satellite. It's down. Target the generators first, then target everything else. Nuke is outbound from Team 2 is Twitchy Mofo. That's the only nuke left alive. And it's going to go for this little grouping of T3 air facilities and P-gens. There goes the shielding. And there goes... There's still one... Hey, there's still one there. Oh. Sorry. Sorry, Ayahuasca. There was one there. Apologies. And what are they targeting? Just whatever at this point. I mean, looks like cannibalization over there to the northeast. And, yeah, there's really not a lot left. The Scathis did not make it to the end, but it did a tremendous job of wiping out the air, at least for Polar. Here comes the nuke. It's inbound. And there it goes. Boom. Actually doesn't wipe out the T3 air headquarters, but does wipe out a bunch of facilities and P-gens. And what does that do to Ayahuasca's power? He's actually... There's nothing. He's just... dropping mass on the ground, though. Look at that. Plus 1,000 mass. And he just doesn't have enough engineers to spend it all. Produce anything and everything in the kitchen sink. Now on land, there's a huge resurgence for Team 2. And at this point, that's probably going to be it. I mean, we're talking about 1 hour and 9 minutes. Unless Team 1's Ayahuasca can kill off both players on Team 2, one after the other very quickly. I don't think there's any coming back from this game at this point. There was... huge potential for Team 1. Even killing off the even killing off the strats, even killing off the Scathis with the strats, Team 1 was still kind of in it, but yeah, it was just a little bit more time. The Mavor and all the satellites went down, and then that was it. If the Mavor came online, again, completely different story, but yeah, there's just not much remaining for Team 1 at this point. 1 hour, 10 minutes in climbing. It's probably, what, 1:15 or something at this point in the video. So, for those of you who have stuck with it till the end, I really do appreciate it. We see that somebody has spotted the comm. We have Teleport SACU is going for Team 1 Torp launchers. And it's going to be, I think it's just slow kill. We have Strat Bombers raining in. Looks like this, the satellite's targeting all of those Torp launchers. We have, it's Team 1s versus T2s. Lots of Team 1s still. But the engineers, the SACUs, there goes one. And it's just not going to be much. The A explosion will kill off more of them, I think. Yep, there goes the rest of them. So Ayahuasca's fine. It's going to take Torp bombers at this point. Artillery will landing over here because why not? But it's going to take Torp bombers to get there. And they're targeting all of the everything else. Nothing happening on the eastern side. Artillery targeting nothing. P-gens, I guess. Yeah, it looks like a P-gen. Yep, that's never fun. Give, says Sandman. Over to Twitchy Mofo. And artillery targeting the rest of the power up here. Going to wipe that out. Ayahuasca, how you doing on power? I'm assuming you're fine. Ooh, not good on power. And I don't think he really cares because it's 1 hour, 13 minutes. And there's the... Oh, okay. Please tell me the nuke. Wait, is that team... No, that's not Team 1's nuke, is it? Oh, no, it's Team 2's. Nuke outbound also from... He's like, hey, I want the kill for I want the credit for that kill. And there is a bomber built over here. Actually, no, there's a Solar Ripper built over there. So all of the experimentals... Oh, look, it placed right in front of where the comm's walking. So the comm might get out of range. All of the aircraft... That's a YOLO. Apologies. I'm going to take a look at that in a second. But Ayahuasca gets out of range... But the the player of Team 2 Twitchy predicts that quite nicely, and that is a kill for Twitchy, ending the game at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 49 seconds. There's the YOLO, because why not at that point? I mean, once you had all of the everything else dealt with, it's just spend the mass. Team 2 wins the game. There was a lot of time where Team 2 was not looking good. But Spectre Slave, Twitchy, and Regular just dug in. The move with the mobile AA saved the first pass. The second pass wasn't enough. Well, the bomber actually was killed off. But first, second, and then the third pass finally killed off the Scathis. That was more than enough time for it to do considerable damage to Team 1. And once the death of Spectre Slave happened, everything got transferred over to Rekather, and it was just kind of mow it on down. The GC did speed up the death of the Mavor. Maybe if the GCs weren't there, maybe the shielding would have held, but we already kind of saw it was kind of coming off, coming on, coming off, coming off. So there wasn't a stability in the shielding. So, and given the placement of the Mavor in general. He wouldn't have built the pigeons next to it, so you couldn't get the full fire rate out of it. But at a bare minimum, it was a great game. 1 hour, 13 minutes. A long game. Always nice to have that. It's a Friday, at least in terms of the release of this video. So plenty of time to watch it over the weekend, that sort of thing. Thanks so much for watching to the very end of the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate all of the attention, all of the everything you give to these videos. So thank you so much. And I will see all of you in the next one.